Hello and welcome to the World of Strats video overview of Anub'rekhan. This video is intended as a complement to our written guide. You can find them both hosted along with guides to other bosses on worldofstrats.com. As we start the recording, our main tank has just charged Anub'rekhan and he's moving him to the back of the room. The raid is going to be positioned in the center of the room, and I'm the off tank, so my job is to handle the adds. These Crypt Guard adds are the first major element of the fight that you'll have to deal with once you pull a noob. They always spawn in the doorways to the north and south of the room, and as soon as your off tank grabs them, your raid needs to burn them down fast. You've got a limited amount of time to do this because the spider is going to apply a stacking poison to the off tank, which can get pretty nasty. But make sure that you always kill these Crypt Guards on the west side of the room, because when a noob uses Locust Swarm, you don't want to be running around handling corpse explosions on the east side. We'll get to that mechanic in a second. Now we're just going to DPS the boss for a bit. The next mechanic you'll see in action is Impale, which is a nuisance, but it's usually not a raid wiper. You'll see a noob turn around for a second and cast Impale at a random player. It does a little bit of damage to that player and everyone between him and Anub'rekhan. There it is, you can see it. It's also going to throw them up into the air, and you can't really prevent it, but if your raid stays spread out, you'll minimize the problems it causes. Now we're about a minute 35 into the fight, and Anub is going to use Locust Swarm now for the first time. His movement speed will slow down a whole lot, but he's going to release these bugs into the air that fly around and do a bunch of damage to anybody who's near him. The main tank is running around the edge of the room on the far end of that slime canal to stay out of the Locust Swarm, while keeping Anub over on that east side of the room. Both the melee and the ranged DPS are moving over the west side to avoid this big Locust Swarm cloud and also take care of another Crypt Guard that just spawned. You might also notice that our mages are running around and spamming AoE right now. It's because Anub decided that this was a good time to use his corpse explosion ability. He actually blew up the corpse of the first Crypt Guard we killed, and it caused a bunch of little bugs to spawn. You just AoE these things down, keep them off the healers. The off-tank should try to grab as many of them as he can. But it does seem like there's a second or two right after they spawn where a threat doesn't really register on them, so give them a sec. And then just let rip. Start thunderclapping, consecrating, arcane explosion, whatever you've got. Bring them down. You just saw another Impale there, and a lot of people wonder exactly how this mechanic targets players. Impale has a 1 second cast time. What happens is as soon as the Impale cast completes, the spikes shoot from a noob to you almost instantaneously. But if you're really fast, you can strafe away from your raid before he finishes the cast, and you may actually save 1 or 2 players from damage that way. Our main tank just finished his second Locust Swarm kite, and he's back in that little nook where he started the fight. You might have noticed that another Crypt Guard spawned just as Locust Swarm began. That always happens, and it's just the way the timing on this fight works. The biggest challenge in this encounter for healers and DPS is being able to handle both of those events happening at once. If you can do that and your tank gets good at the kite, you'll kill Anub'rekhan. This concludes the World of Strats video overview of Anub. If you have any questions about this video, or you want more information from the written guide, or you want to learn about other in-game content, visit us at worldofstrats.com. Thanks for watching.